Lesson 8U, I'm going to call it. It's just an extra one for Chapter 8 to help us understand bearing. In navigation, the course, bearing, or heading of an object is sometimes given as the angle of a line of travel measured clockwise from due north. So, for example, this is stuff that if you know anything about compass or anything like that, you might be familiar with this system. Now, so we're not confused in pre-calculus. The way that the district has basically decided to teach us is we're not going to go off of these values. Like I'll have a couple problems where they might show up, but typically what we'll say is something like north 22.5 degrees east. And what that means is from the north, you would go 22.5 degrees this way. That's normally how we're going to show it. And so that would be written as in 22.5 degrees east. That would mean go 22 degrees from the north to the east. That's what that's saying. Just similarly, if I said west 45 north, what that would mean is you'd start at the west and you'd go 45 degrees up this way, which would take you to the northwest and be given there. So these numbers on a compass, that's true, and typically you'd use the word as a bearing or a heading if you were using the system. But in mathematics, for pre-calculus, we go from this x-axis, and so what we'll do there is if I'm in this system, I'll show you this way, or if I just give you a degree measure, we're going to assume it from the x-axis. So let's take a look at a problem here. So first, let's convert north 36 degrees east to decimal degree form. What that means is we'll look at it and change it to a normal angle from the positive x-axis. So here in our system, we have north, east, south, and west. You never eat soggy waffles, never eat sour watermelon. A lot of people have these catchy phrases to help you remember the order. But what this means is we go 36 degrees from the west, or excuse me, from the north towards the east. I don't know where west came from. So 36. So this is 45. So it's going to be less than that. It's going to be something like this. And so this is the way this angle would look, is we'd go over this way 36 degrees. Now, to change it to decimal degree form, what we need to do is we need to find out what is the angle from the positive x-axis. That's what we're trying to determine, is what is this angle. That's where we're trying to find out. Now, here's what we know. From the north to the east, there are 90 degrees. So if there's 90 degrees in the total, and that's 36 right there, if I take it away, I could find out that I have 54 degrees remaining in a decimal degree form. Decimal degree means you could use a decimal, but this one obviously is a whole number, so I'm just going to say this is my answer here. So 54 degrees, and the note to understand is that's from the positive x-axis. Anytime we use our calculator or anything like that in mathematics, you go from the positive x-axis, so that's what that 54 degrees represents. Let's try another one. So part B here, it says south 15 degrees east to decimal degree form. So again, I'm just going to draw it to help us understand. So I go south and then 15 to the east. And I didn't even label my axis here. This is north, east, south, west. This right here is 15 degrees. So again, what we'll do is we'll understand that this makes up 90 degrees. So if that's 90, and I want to find how many degrees is this, I'll take it away from 90. Since I'm going down, we're going to put it as a negative answer. But first, let's figure out it's 90 degrees, and we subtract our 15. This gives us 75 degrees. Now, since it's going down, it's going to be negative 75 from the positive x-axis. Negative 75 since it's going downward. I'll write that in there. Since it's going downward from the positive x-axis. All right, and now C. Let's change 152 degrees to a directional bearing. That means you're using the northeast, southwest system. So 152 degrees, since it doesn't have any letters with it or anything like that, we're assuming from the positive x-axis. So 152, that right there is 0, that's 90, this is 180, so 152 is somewhere over here. So this right there is 152 degrees. And now when I want to convert it, I'm going to use the north, east, south, west system here. And the easiest way is we could go from the north and say, what is this here? Or we could also say, what is the angle from the west going towards the north? We'll do it both ways. So first I'll go from the north over. Again, we have 90 degrees from the east to the north. That's 90. So if I take away 90 from 152, I'm left over with this distance for the blue. And so here, when we take this away, we get 62 degrees. So that means the blue is 62 degrees there. And so the way you would write that is north 62 degrees W, north 62 degrees west. That would be one way you could write it. Now you could also write it from this way. And since this makes up also 90 degrees there, I could take my 90 and I could subtract 62 and you find out this is 28 degrees. And so I could also write the green, since this is 28 degrees this way, I could say this is west, because I'm starting from the west, 28 degrees to the north. So make that a little better in there, and this would be our other answer. Now I have some for you to try.